contact. Hey everyone, I'm Allison.
And I'm Bryce, and
we're Better Half Reviews. And today we're talking about Heroes of the Shire, Light and Shadow. This is designed by Damien Senior, and the art is by Edwin G.H., and it's from Senior Games.
Light and Shadow is a standalone expansion for Heroes of the Shire, which is a turn-based combat game where you choose some sort of fantasy character, and you get to battle it out or do campaign mode.
This is coming to you on Gamefound. We also previously did a review on the original Heroes of the Shire. If you want to go ahead and check it out, we'll put the little link up there or link in the description down below where we give you an overview of the game. But we'll still tell you a little bit about this version right now. Alright, in Heroes of the Shire, you are going to be selecting one of the characters to play as. You got the Clairvoyant, the Raven Goddess, Mercenary, Shadow Knight, Beastmaster, Light Mage, and the Hydromancer. In the game you have different scenario modes that you can play as, or you can also do arena or one versus many, or even teams. You have the Shadow scenario booklet, and then it also has some FAQs for the Light scenario, which is the other option that you can play for. Each booklet's pages have different encounters that may happen throughout your scenarios, and then there's a folder for the Light and Shadow scenarios containing their components. You have your character folder, which will tell you about your stats and some bio, and then inside is going to be everything you need for that specific character. So we're going to look at the Raven Goddess. So you've got your main player board. This is what you're going to be using for casting spells and keeping track of your stats. You have your own player guide, which will give you references for different conditions or buffs that you are going to use most often. You also have your spell mastery board. You have a board to keep track of all your loot and items. You also have companion cards that will vary from character to character, and it'll have your specific character back. And each character has their own token and also companion tokens if needed. You have your own hero movement cards used in the campaign mode. And you have your upkeep tokens and dice. In this game you'll be casting spells, unlocking spells for unique abilities, gaining conditions and buffs, some temporary, some permanent, keeping track of all your hit points. If you go down to 0 in arena mode, you're out. Some characters have overlay trays that can be unlocked that give you special and unique abilities for extra power-ups. After you've taken turns and it comes back to you, you got to do an upkeep phase, change your cooldown dice, and also move those buffs and conditions down, taking any damage as necessary. In the campaign mode, you're going to move together as a party, exploring different hexes, and also unlocking some different encounters. Some choices you make will help, and some may hinder you. Some encounters will bring you trash mobs and even big bosses that you need to defend against before you can move on. These encounters are magnified in the scenario books. You'll have hero movements, and you're going to be moving around trying to attack those mobs. Each character can have their own quest card. Be mindful of your goals so you can get some extra loot. Turn order is based on the agility of every character, so sometimes between your turn, the enemies will also be taking turns and casting spells against you, so watch out. If you do defeat all your trash mobs, they will often drop some loot for you to collect. You have to be mindful you can't keep more than one of each type. And that's a quick little overview of Heroes of the Shire, Light and Shadow. Alright, so now that you know a little bit more about the game, let's talk about our pros and cons of this. So for me, one of my biggest pros is I love the artwork in this game. I love how the characters look and like the little items, scenery, I love how it looks when it's on the table.
Yeah, it does have a lot of good artwork, which is, carried over from the original version of the game. Had great artwork as well. One of my biggest pros is the storage solution so far.
Oh, yes.
I really like that each character has its own folder, and that there's token trays, because there's a lot of tokens in this game.
Yes, this version has a lot better way to upkeep and everything. So yes, that is very much a pro, and it leads towards easing gameplay and going through things. You still have to search for some tokens, but it's a little bit easier to search for them. You don't have to have piles of them. You have trays of them. You pass the tray down instead of tokens. But yeah. And something else I really like about this game is, even though, I guess, for lack of a better way of saying it, this type of game isn't always, something that I gravitate towards, but I love doing the arena mode, where it's just, you just duke it out with people, and I especially love it when you do it on teams, because there's some of those abilities that you can kind of utilize for people who are your allies against who are enemies. And it's just crazy and fun, and I've had a lot of fun exploring like abilities of different characters and like finding good like combos and stuff. So it's just, I don't know, it's pretty exciting and it's fun, and you have big moments of like, oh, or like, no.
Yeah, it's really fun when you have a good combo with your other teammates. But it's also really fun when there's a character out that you don't really know very well, and you're just like mind blown by the power that they have.
Mm-hmm.
So like we were doing an arena mode, and someone was a Shadow Knight.
Well, we were teaching it to like 5 different people who had never played this game before, and so none of them knew the characters, and we were trying it out, and then
someone was a Shadow Knight. He ended up dying first, but because of his special abilities, he wasn't really gone, and it was just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like we thought he was gone, now he's still affecting the battle. It was really crazy.
Yeah. He realized that ability before he got taken out, and he was telling the other people on the other side, he's like, no, like, yeah, hit me, because he wanted to activate that ability. So it's just so fun to see like people really getting into it. So even people who had never played this before, who I thought it might be a bit much of a game, like they were all into it, and like it was just so much fun.
So I also like the team arena mode. Just pairing up with a couple people and you're just trying to wail on some other people is a lot of fun. But I do like the campaign mode as well, and I did like in this version the extra booklets that there were for the campaign mode. So it wasn't just the static hexagons. There was other like battle maps and things that made it a little more interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah, so it's like you unlocked that encounter, and then now you're gonna go onto that extra board, and like it like zooms in on the map. That's basically what it's doing, and then you get to place out like the bad guys, the smash mobs, trash mobs, close enough, and then duke it out. So yeah, that I liked that it had that. It felt more structured, more interesting.
A little more tactical too, because it wasn't just like, oh, we're on this hex and there's a bunch of bad guys. It was like, okay, the bad guys are moving around this map. We need to kind of move around the map and work together too.
Yeah, and just try not to get destroyed like we did.
Yeah, there was some hard battles.
Yeah, but we had fun even though we did terribly. All right, so we've kind of talked about the previous Heroes of the Shire, so let's talk about some comparisons. They're both right side up, right?
I hope so.
So in the previous Heroes of the Shire, there were 2 different iterations, or you could get the collector's edition. We went ahead and got them separated because we just liked the art and wanted more boxes. But anyway, so we kind of talked about it a little bit. Comparison-wise, it's similar things where you got different characters, and this one, Light and Shadow, has its own set of characters, so do these. But something that we liked about Heroes of the Shire, Light and Shadow, is it had those individual envelopes for each of your characters. I really liked it because like it gets all the stats and stuff, but then you've got your board in here, you've got your tokens, you've got cards, and then like if you're playing the campaign mode and you have loot, just stuff it in there.
I also liked how Light and Shadow does have a lot of crossover with the other 2 versions. So like one of the characters I played the most was the Hydromancer, who can buff a lot of like water-based and ice-based attacks. Well, there's not a whole bunch of water-based and ice-based attacks in Light and Shadow. There are in these other 2 versions. So the Hydromancer would fit really well into other campaigns or other, versions of this.
Yeah. But going back to that works. But going back to comparisons, like we talked about, like the token trays. And so like this one has token trays that really help to organize things. These ones didn't. Like you have enough space for everything, but like keeping things organized, this one helped out a lot. I don't know if he's gonna go back and do that for these or not. Know. You'll have to double check with him. I have no idea. That's just a thought. That'd be nice. But anyway, I digress. What else was different?
We touched on this a little bit with the campaign mode, had the extra booklets.
Yes. More structure and like more interesting dynamic with the campaign. I like that as well. But yeah, so like overall, that's some of the comparisons. Like a lot of tweaks is not necessarily fully on the gameplay, just kind of like organizing was a big thing for that. And then with the booklet for the campaign.
Yeah, the gameplay was very familiar.
Yes.
Like it wasn't learning anything massively new,
Mm-mm.
unless you hadn't played it for a while.
Yeah.
But no, it was very easy to learn and get into, and just kind of pick up. And you're like, oh, there's a few different rules. Let me read up on those, and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm. But like what Bryce said, like I love that you can kind of mix and match. Like this is a standalone expansion, but if you have all the other content, you can take characters from here, here, and here, and just throw them together and have fun. Like it's just more content. So if you've already played Heroes of the Shire, this is just more of what you already love with a bit extra. All right, so now that we've talked about some of our pros and some comparisons, let's talk about if we have any cons or things that you should be aware of as a potential backer. I don't know if it's necessarily a con, but like there's a lot to this game. So if you are someone who likes to play just light games and simple games, this is not the game for you. This has lots of tokens, this has tons of abilities, and like everybody's doing something different. So if you like just light-hearted party games, maybe not so much for you.
I can't remember. I should have went back and watched our other review. And I can't remember if I said this in the last review, but there are a lot of tokens to sift through. So it's like, oh, if I'm doing a status effect, the trays do help and help keep things organized. And if you put things back in the right spot, is great. But if you don't, you could spend a little bit of time looking for tokens. And I wish there was an easier way to simplify things, but with all the different like status effects and things, I understand why there's so many tokens.
Yes.
It can slow the game down a little bit.
Yeah. So I'd just say like the entry level into this game is a little bit high. And so if you are willing to dig deep and like, okay, understand the game, get through it and understand there's lots of stuff, then you can get it going. So it takes a bit to get it going, but once you do, it's good.
But we did play this with 5 different casual gamers who mostly play like D&D and things, and they were able to pick it up pretty easily in one night.
Yeah.
So, yes, it is harder to get into if you're not super into gaming, but it is
possible.
Yeah, it's not inaccessible.
But I mean, bringing that up, I would say if there's people who play D&D, like doing campaigns and like getting into character, like this game really leans in for people who play D&D. And I feel like his group of D&D, when we taught it to them, they're like, wow, where is this game? Where I want to get this. How do I have it? And I'm like, well, this one's not out yet. And he's like, okay, well, when does it launch? I want to back it. And we're like, okay. But yeah, so like people who are into like getting into characters and just this really leans towards like D&D groups. So yeah, let's go for it. I don't know if I have any other cons besides like, I mean, I don't have any cons, but just it's a big game. It's a lot to get into. I don't know. Other than that, it's good though.
Yeah, it's really good. I don't have any other cons. Like I said, gameplay can sometimes feel a little slow if you're searching for tokens. But if you have a good system and you're organized about it, it's not too bad.
I guess I thought of something else, not necessarily a con, but just to be aware of, like in this type of game where it's like he's taking a turn, then they're taking a turn, there is downtime. So if that bugs you, you may not like it as much, but I'm okay with the downtime because I'm like trying to plan what I want to do and like I'm watching what other people are doing and how it affects me.
But the more you play it, the easier that gets because you understand your characters a lot better and you're just like, okay, now I know what I want to do next.
Yeah.
And you're able to adjust those plans on the fly a lot better. There is a lot more downtime though when you're starting to get to know a character and you're just barely playing them for the first time.
Yeah.
And trying to understand their abilities and how they fit into a team and stuff.
So overall, we don't have a ton of cons against the gameplay. It's just things that you need to be aware of. But yeah. So, what are our overall thoughts on Heroes of the Shire, Light and Shadow? Thumbs up. It's good. It's fun. I love the crazy chaotic moments that you have, especially in arena mode on like teams. It's just a blast to play, and I loved introducing it to people and seeing them like fall in love with the characters and be like, oh, look what I can do. Like when people find the combos, it's just a lot of fun to see.
And I really enjoy the characters in this game, especially. They're more, I don't know, they're less well known, I guess, like a Shadow Knight or a Hydromancer. Whereas in the original games, they were more like bards and monks and kind of more common fantasy tropes. But I really like this game and how it leads into some of the more maybe arcane tropes.
Yeah. And it's just fun to explore all the different characters. And obviously, there's so much content. Like, we've only played so much of this. We've tried out, like, the light scenario. We didn't really get super far into, like, with Shadow and stuff. So, like, there's so much content that we haven't even tried yet. but I know that everything that we've tried so far has been really good. So if you are interested in backing this, again, I'll put a link in the description down below. And if you enjoyed this video, give us a like and a subscribe. I'm Allison.
And I'm Bryce, and we're Better Half Reviews.
Happy gaming.
Have fun. I forgot my line.
It happens. And we're Better Half Reviews.
Sorry. I was gonna say we're Heroes of the Shire.
No.
It's fine. Just fine.
Fine. It's just fine, everyone. I am the hero of the Shire. You shall worship me. I just love this game so much. You looked at me. I know, but the other times you've only like half done it. That time we made eye contact. All right. Now that you know we're building games. One more time.